Universal health coverage for all. President Paul Biya's promise soon a reality. A public-private partnership to this effect has been signed between Public Health Boss and the Director General of Santé Universelle, Cameroon. Government assists IDPs from the northwest and southwest regions residing in a Bebda-Leke division of the center region. Territorial Administration Boss Paula Tanganjiri assures them of government's readiness to accompany those willing to return home. Mourners pay tribute to former Indomitable Lions captain Stephen TATAW at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sports Complex. His remains were coffined this afternoon in the presence of Sports and Physical Education Minister representing the state. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the 7:30 News with me, Gladys Tata.
Each of us must comply with the measures that have been taken.
Welcome back. The promise made by President Paul Biya at the start of the current mandate to put in place a health coverage scheme in the country is becoming a reality. A public-private partnership was signed in Yaoundé Thursday by Public Health Minister Manauda Malachi and the Director General of Santé Universelle Cameroon, Jacqueline Mekango, to set up a health coverage scheme. The signing ceremony, supervised by Prime Minister Joseph John Gote, is the culmination of years of reflection and groundwork. Christian Chen Atam tells us more.
The President of the Republic instructed the government to work towards the setting up of a universal health coverage scheme as far back as 2011. President Paul Biya reiterated the need for a universal health coverage scheme at the start of his current mandate and took the engagement to bring the project to life. Thursday's signing of the public-private partnership is the fulfillment of that promise.
The process is very long, because we have to put many technical controls, and we hope that the Cameroonian will mobilize for this project.
The public-private partnership between the government of Cameroon and the private partner, New Tech Management Cameroon, entails the construction, exploitation and maintenance of a management system for universal health coverage. Santé Universelle Cameroun Limited is the special project vehicle which will run the health scheme for 17 years before handing it to the government.
Looking at what is going on the other countries in Africa, for example, they are paying at least, I think, 12,000 per year per person.
Prime Minister Joseph John Gote has hailed the initiative as a new era for health care in Cameroon. He says it translates the engagement of the head of state to improve health care to Cameroonians at all levels.
The Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Kavayege Jibril, has granted audience to members of the Parliamentary Network for the Promotion of Health and Traditional Medicine. The legislators, accompanied by practitioners in traditional medicine, called for the valorization of African medicine, which serves more than 70% of the population. Esther Kmer has the details.
In the wake of the novel coronavirus spread, where scientific research for a cure is yet to be established, and at a time when some traditional therapies have saved lives, the network's president, Honorable Dr. Kmer Menge, joined by the healers, came to House Speaker, Honorable Kavayege Jibril, with proposals on how to give value to African medicine, overshadowed by scientific medicine.
African medicine, which for a long time has been in the coffers, but people go there in the night. We want that through him, a structure should be created. In fact, we have even asked that a ministry should be created for African medicine, because Western medicine covers only 20%, churches cover 10%, and African medicine covers 70%. How can 70% be in a sub-directorate in the Ministry of Public Health?
The belief that folk medicine that developed over generations before the era of modern medicine can largely contribute to the prevention, diagnosis and treatments of both physical and mental illness.
Vaccination against hepatitis A, B, and E and the prevention of mother-to-child transmission of the disease will soon be effective throughout the national territory. The National Strategic Plan for the Fight Against Viral Hepatitis was launched in Yaoundé this Friday thanks to a partnership between the government of Cameroon and the World Health Organization. Ewane Epole reports.
The strategic plan will considerably increase the response to viral hepatitis as measures have been taken for the prevention of mother-to-child transmission of the disease through vaccination at birth and prenatal testing.
The milestone of today is to have a plan that the government can finance, partners can help finance the plan that have been set between now and 2024. We are behind the government for the implementation of this important plan.
According to the Secretary General in the Ministry of Public Health, Louis Richard Jock, the partnership between the Cameroon government and the World Health Organization will contribute to a reduction in the prevalence of hepatitis B and D, respectively from 8.3% to 5.3% and 10.5 to 6.5% by the year 2024, and also to reduce the incidence rate of viral hepatitis A and E.
The curtains have been drawn on the second edition of the ICT Innovation Week, with e-waste 3D printer emerging winner of the national competition for the best ICT project of the year. The startup Nzometia News Desktop has been awarded the special prize of the head of state worth 15 million CFA francs by the Minister of Posts and Telecommunications, Minedli Bomb Lily King. Yote Kaleli Songe has highlights of that ceremony, which took place today in Yaoundé.
15 startups, one winner, e-waste 3D printer.
My project is a 3D printer which can precisely print out 3D models. The project was made out of electronic waste.
He has plans for the head of state special prize worth 15 million, which includes a 10 million CFA franc check.
We'll go now into more research on how we can go into the market with this product. From here now, we'll get to people who are into product design, and then now we can partner with them.
Cameroon e-Translate emerged second.
It's a digital platform built with the technology of artificial intelligence. We are translating from Cameroon national languages to its local languages. Currently, we have effectively done the translation in both ways, French to Gomala.
Closely followed by BNR Labs, a virtual learning laboratory. Each of the 15 startups competing have been rewarded.
I'm satisfied because I realized that young ICT innovators in Cameroon heard the call of head of state to create, to dare, and to innovate.
Government is accompanying them with online courses organized by ITU, IBM, and the Tony Elumelu Foundation.
Relief kits have been handed to internally displaced persons from the northwest and southwest regions residing in Ebebda, Lekki division of the Center region. The aid, which falls in line with the Emergency Humanitarian Assistance Plan, were handed to them this Friday in Ebebda by Territorial Administration Minister Paul Atanganji. The minister told the IDPs that when normalcy will gradually return to the two regions, those of them who wish to go back home will be accompanied by government. Ebenezer Akanga trailed the minister and put together the following report.
Some 100 families of internally displaced persons from the northwest and southwest regions residing in Ebebda received the relief kits. Both the mayor of Ebebda and the traditional ruler of the locality attested to the fact that the IDPs are of good behavior, while the internally displaced expressed gratitude to the host community for their hospitality and to President Paul Biya for their assistance.
We want to thank the President for his effort, and we want to tell the President of the Republic we are behind him. He should go ahead.
Handing the relief kits, the Minister of Territorial Administration told the IDPs that, with normalcy gradually returning to the two regions, those of them who wish to go back home will be accompanied by government.
As for now, we have accompanied more than close to 9,850 IDPs who have gone back to the northwest and southwest regions. The traditional ruler of this village has done a lot to the population. So I told them they have to be law-abiding and they have to respect state institutions.
The ceremony provided a moment of happiness to the IDPs who forgot about their difficult situation, at least for a while.
The headquarters agreement for the Central African Police Chiefs Committee has been signed in Yaoundé today. To be based in Cameroon, it will serve CEMAC countries, plus the DRC and Sao Tome and Principe. Charles Ebune completes the story.
A specialized consultative organ of the Economic and Monetary Community of Central African States with plus 2 countries involved, that is, Sao Tome and Principe and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The Central Africa Police Chiefs Committee, headquartered in Yaoundé, will be charged with combating transborder criminality.
This is supposed to most probably ameliorate cooperation between the countries. So he will act like a hub. It's consultative. They're never going to go on the road to do police work, but they will be able to make sure that the police cooperate.
The headquarters agreement is signed on behalf of Cameroon by External Relations Minister Mbela Mbela and on behalf of the Central Africa Police Committee's chief and on behalf of CEMAC by its commissioner for infrastructure.
The most important thing for the heads of states as far as the CEMAC is concerned is free movement of people, free movement of goods, and free movement of capital. And there can't be that free movement if we don't prevent crime.
Amongst the dignitaries present to witness the establishment of the headquarters agreement between the government of Cameroon and the Central Africa Police Chiefs Committee is the Delegate General for National Security, Martin Barngangele, and other officials, especially from the Ministry of External Relations and other partners.
Some 1 million youths in the country are expected to be empowered between 2020 and 2023 in order to curb unemployment rate. This was revealed during the signing of the Youth Connect Cameroon project document in Yaoundé between Youth Affairs Minister and Mununa Futu and the United Nations representative Siti Batul. Details with Romeo Kenyi.
75% of Cameroon's total population is predominantly youth, but its employment rate is still a cause for concern. It is within this pretext that the Ministry of Youth Affairs and the United Nations have decided to unite forces to assist them. This via the signing of a document.
They will benefit from this initiative through resources mobilized from the private sector, United Nations agencies, the government, and the civil society.
We are going to see its implementation throughout this Youth Connect initiative, being implemented in 14 countries, and Cameroon is the 14th.
For youth to fully grasp the opportunities provided for by this act, the Cameroon National Youth Council will have to play an indelible role.
The 3 years pilot phases will really help us at the decision-making level to be actors in the rural and urban areas.
More than 1 million youths are expected to be empowered in the first phase of this program between 2021 and 2023.
The National Bilingualism and Multiculturalism Commission team that has been on the field to evaluate the usage of the French and English languages in the various ministerial departments was today received at the Ministry of Public Works. The team, led by Françoise Angouin, was received by the Minister Emmanuel Ngano Jumesi, who appreciated efforts made by the Commission in promoting both languages in the country. And the commander of the 3rd Joint Military Region for the Adamawa and the North and the commander of the 3rd Gendarmerie Region have announced plans to improve border security in the Faro and the Deo divisions of the Adamawa region. Brigadier General Aga Robinson and Brigadier General Lubazao were speaking during a field trip in Tignier to analyze the already existing operations on the ground. Silas Quine tells us more in Adamawa.
The Faro and Deo division in the Adamawa region is becoming relatively more violent, with residents in the border areas of Bayo-Balio, Galimchigne, Deodeo and Concha reporting repeated incursions, an increase in kidnappings and cattle theft. The trip by Brigadier General Lubazal, commander of the 3rd Gendarmerie Region, and Brigadier General Aga Robinson, commander of the 3rd Joint Military for the Adamawa and the North regions, was for well-founded reasons given the burgeoning insecurity in these areas.
We came down today to analyze the operations ongoing so that the success we are recording these days should continue.
Open and frank collaboration between the population, traditional rulers and security and defense forces, General Robinson says, have been the key to success in the fight against illegal trade, urban and rural criminality and border insecurity here. It was also an occasion to further boost the morale of troops on the ground.
To make them know that they have to carry out their mission with professional consciousness.
The visit was punctuated by a brief working session with traditional rulers and the population, chaired by the SDO for Farondeo, Auguste Esomba.
Over in the littoral region, the dredging management of the Douala Bonaberi seaport now has a management team at its head. The appointed director delegate and his deputy have been installed by the Director General of the Port Authority of Douala, Cyrus Ngao. They were exhorted to carry out their mission with professionalism and abnegation in ensuring the visibility of the port and make dredging a source of income through the commercial function assigned them. Details with Cynthia Etim in Douala.
The Dredging Management Unit within the Port Authority of Douala was set up in 2018 with the aim to control and drastically reduce dredging costs, crossing costs, and make the Douala Bonaberi port attractive and competitive. The newly installed Director Delegate and Deputy Director Delegates are expected to bring in their touch in the accomplishment of the missions of the entity.
One of the key challenges is to lower the cost, to show that we can manage this activity with less expenditures.
We need just the port autonome for Douala to be performant, to make this country developed.
Installing them, the Director General of the Port Authority of Douala, Cyrus Ngao, said the move is within the framework of the normalization process of all activities of the Douala Bonaberi seaport for the satisfaction of port users.
The wearing of face masks in public places will be mandatory until further notice.
Over 17,000 persons have so far recovered from COVID-19 in Cameroon, out of the over 19,000 infected, with a recovery rate of 92.2%. This impressive mastery of the virus by Cameroon, according to public health expert, is as a result of government's response strategy to fight against the coronavirus. Baldwin Sama is standing by at the Public Health Emergency Operations Center to explain to us how just Cameroon has been able to contain the spread of the virus.
Good evening to you, Gladys, and welcome to the Public Health Emergency Operations Center this Friday evening. As you rightly said, with over 17,000 persons who have recovered from the coronavirus in Cameroon, public health experts say this is good news for the country. Good news because it is as a result of government's response strategy put in place to limit the spread of this virus in the 10 different regions of the country. It has been succeeding so far. Succeeding also because many Cameroonians have been responding positively to most of these outlined barrier measures by the government to limit the spread of the virus. Given that as of tonight, the recovery rate stands at 92.2%, and government's intention is to see into it that the recovery rate increases on daily basis, it is very possible for us to take the recovery rate, why not, to above 95%, and that is what the government is looking forward to. And if that has to be possible equally, other Cameroonians, especially those who have not yet been respecting these outlined government measures to limit the spread of COVID-19, must join the bandwagon to see into it that together as one, we respect all these barrier measures and try as much as possible to make the 10 different regions of Cameroon free as far as coronavirus is concerned. With one of the take-home messages from public health experts from this Emergency Operations Center this Friday evening being that we should continue respecting all these barrier measures because the virus is still present, the virus still lives among us Cameroonians. Back to you, Gladys.
Thank you very much. Hope the message doesn't fall on deaf ears, Baldwin, and see you tomorrow. We take you over to the southwest region where the city of Limbe will soon have an ultra-modern market to facilitate commercialization in the city and other neighboring communities. While laying the foundation stone in Limbe, the city mayor, Andrew Mutanga Munjimba, urged the population to work together with all the stakeholders to ensure a successful project. Tanjong Levis Agwa completes the story from CRTV Southwest in Boya.
Brighter days ahead for the city of Limbe after some parts of the market were demolished for the realization of an ultra-modern market worth over 2.2 billion francs CFA. The foundation has been laid for this infrastructure, and the mayor of the city of Limbe, Andrew Mutanga Monjimba, enjoined the population and local authorities to work in synergy with all the project partners to bring the most desired development and befitting status for the municipality. The project is yet another milestone in Limbe's steady transformation to a modern city. The general manager of FECOM, Philippe Camille Akua, and the senior divisional officer for FACO, Emmanuel Ludu-Ngamba, who presided over the ceremony, pledged their unwavering support towards the realization of this project.
The remains of late Stephen TATAW have been coffined at the mortuary of the Yaoundé Central Hospital. The ceremony took place in the presence of Sports and Physical Education Minister, Professor Narcisse Mwele Kombi, who represented the head of state. Baldwin Sama was there for the news.
Emotional moments for Ivana TATAW and Stephen TATAW Jr. Difficult moments they were at the coffining ceremony of the mortal remains of late Stephen TATAW. In the presence of Sports and Physical Education Minister representing the head of state, the representative of the President of the Confederation of African Football, members of governments, football officials, former and present footballers and family members, a prayer was said for the repose of the deceased soul.
The Olympic movement gives a great homage because he has been a great amateur and challenge the great professionals.
We are doing all our best to take our collaborator Stephen TATAW to the last rest. May his soul rest in peace.
TATAW has gone never to return. We want to pray that the Almighty Lord should protect him where he is.
The different mourners viewed for the last time the mortal remains of late Stephen TATAW, and difficult it was for most to control their emotions. The casket was taken through some streets of Yaoundé heading towards the multi-purpose sports complex as late Stephen TATAW will be laid to rest this Saturday in Yaoundé.
And may his soul rest in perfect peace. And let's now take you over to the Far North region, precisely to the locality of Boboyo, certainly not to talk of the Crocodile Lake, but to discover the Cobra Lake of Boboyo, a snake-like rock which has over the years been attracting tourists and visitors alike. A must-go destination, especially during the summer vacation. Our guide to this attractive site is John Asho in CRTV Marwa.
The Cobra Rock of Boboyo in Mayokani division of the Far North region is enticing, auspicious and awesome. For many years now, it has been subject of attraction and wonder. The imposing rock shaped like the head of a spitting cobra whose visitors spellbound, while locals see this geographic feature beyond the natural.
This Cobra Rock is an ancestral legacy for us. It is more or less like our deity. Although we no longer worship it today, it is full of history and symbolism.
Just about an hour's drive from Marwa, chief town of the Far North region, it is believed that the Cobra Rock englobes wisdom, knowledge and integrity attributed to the people of Boboyo. Little wonder, therefore, that visitors and tourists keep pouring into this locality to savor the marvels of nature, especially during these summer holidays. Visual romance with the Cobra Rock is free of charge, and a try shall convince even you.
I wish I could move over there, Ayujona Show. Urban music artist Kamini, Katino, as well as Shura will this evening be entertaining fans in various neighborhoods in the nation's capital and on social media platforms. Meanwhile, the 2020 edition of the Kamaka Awards, which spotlights uprising music talents, movie and modeling, will take place this Sunday at the Alliance Francaise Hall in Bamenda. These and more in our cultural page roundup with Joyce Tata.
Jawfish Fit Longe invites you for the official release of their duo, which drops tonight on social media. Simultaneously, urban music artist Josie will be thrilling fans at the Catios nightclub this Friday to usher you into another relaxing weekend. The crowd-pulling Shura promised you a unique moment of intimacy with her on her Facebook page tonight.
All of you who've been supporting me, showing me love throughout all these years, I say thank you. And I'm giving you rendezvous on the 28th of August as from 7 p.m. prompt on my Facebook page. It's Shura TF.
The showcasing continues on Saturday with Mathématiques de Petit Pays at the Groove Cabaret in the nation's capital. Fans, your artist will be on stage. Afro jazz icon from Bamenda, Cameroon, Renew alongside Kosi wrap up the weekend with an official release titled Feeling You. Have a pleasant view of the weekend.
This one goes out there to all those that the sound of my voice. Whatever you do, believe in yourself.
And that is where we draw the curtains on this edition of the 7:30 News. Thanks for watching. Join Atabadine Umar at 8:30 for the news in French. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, God willing. Until then, it's bye from all of us on the 7:30 crew.
In this connection, we should avoid stigmatizing.
Nous sommes au Golf Club de Yaoundé, non loin du célèbre hôtel Montfébé,